What's going on, guys? G2 here. Welcome back to the bench. And today we are going to be doing a review on the knifekits.com Kydex press. Now, if you've been watching the channel, you've seen that I've recently got into doing Kydex holsters, Kydex sheaths. Just something more to learn that we can use in our overall applications here, I think, for this channel. So I watched a lot of videos on Kydex pressing, the different kinds of presses. I've seen people make presses out of lumber, all kinds of different ways that they've created presses, and I've also watched reviews on this exact press. So stick around and I'll let you know how I think this thing is faring so far, about a half dozen projects in. So before we get into the review of the press, stick around because I have a great tip on how to use this that I have not seen on YouTube so far. So you want to hang around definitely and not miss out on that. If you're not subscribed, take a minute, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, so you're alerted every time I upload new content. Well, let's start with some of the really good things about this press, because there are some negatives, but let's start with the good things first, right? One, the overall construction of this piece. It is a two-piece construction. You've got your base here with your foam, and it has these two little I guess let's call them hinges, for lack of a better word, that allow you to place the top piece in. And depending on what you're doing, you have a bottom piece here if you're doing like a taco press, and then you have a top piece here if you're doing something a little bit thicker. So I love the option of being able to adjust the height. Do you have a range of height options like you would have if you maybe had a floating hinge? No, but this construction is all steel and it is heavy duty, and it has withstood we've done 6 projects, like I said, with this. I said we've probably used this close to 12 to 15 times. And one of the testaments to how good of a quality this is if you look at my thermal foam here. There is not an impression on this. There is nothing. It looks just as good as it did when I took it out of the box. That is a testament to the quality of foam that you're getting with this. I looked into building my own. The overall cost was about $40 to $50 cheaper, but we were using materials like wood, differently sourced foam, so from Amazon or other areas. That is not, and as so far proved to be, not as good as this. So some of the reviews that I saw, the foam indented after the first time, after the second time. We've done about 15 presses on here, and this foam looks perfect. It's heavy. So it comes in at 8 pounds just for this top part here. The bottom, I would imagine, is very close to the same weight. I like that they give you options for mounting. So this is directly mounted into my wooden table here. If you had a steel table, you could just as easily screw and tap some threads and mount it in that way. You can use bolts to keep it in. So the options for mounting are pretty good. And they have here 4 mounting places. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We also have these 2 down here. We'll talk about these 2 in a second. But it is secure on here. I am pretty sure the table is going to move before this thing moves. And you have to have it secure, because when you're pressing this down, you are creating a lot of pressure on these back screws here. When you're exerting that downward force, it wants to pull up here. So it's very important that you have this secured to your tabletop, workbench, whatever it is. Now let's talk about some of the things that I don't like about this. And really, these are easily overcome. The first thing was this. They give you these 1/4 inch by, let's call it 1 1/4 screws to mount this in. This is not enough. If my workbench was solid wood and maybe 2 inches thick, something like this would be good, but my workbench is 3/4 inch plywood, so something like this is gonna rip straight out, and it did. So what we did was we ended up using 1/4 inch lag bolts, and we threaded a nut through the bottom with some washers, and this guy is locked in tight. So these things, not a fan. The other thing that I'm not a fan of is the way that they suggest you mount this down when the press is forming. So their method was you get one of these, you put it through this, and then you mount it into one of these holes right here. So you drill that through, and it holds that chain in place. Here's the problem with that. When you go to secure this, now you can use either hole. When you go to secure this, you basically lock that chain in place, and it keeps it from moving up. But the problem that you have is you're limited in how much tension or force you can create, because it only locks in on these pinched links right here, so where the links meet each other, and you're talking that's probably an inch gap in between, so you're not able to fine-tune that downward pressure. The other thing, and like I said, my tabletop is 3/4 ply. After about the second or third time pressing, it straight ripped this screw right out because of the pressure. I understand what they were trying to do. I don't think it's a good solution. So what we did to overcome that is we just went with the traditional clamp. Now we can fit the clamp right under here. We can press it down, and it holds that in place. We can adjust the pressure. Obviously you want to use 2 so you have even pressure on your piece. So we can adjust the pressure, to a little bit, to a lot. We're not restricted by these 1 inch increments. And that is really the only 2 negative things I have to say. The bolts that they give you, the hardware, not the best for my application, but we adjusted, and this tensioning system leaves a little bit to be desired. But $3 at Harbor Freight times 2 takes care of that, no problem. Now here's the other thing. This thing costs $95. You could build one for $40. It wouldn't be metal, it would most likely be wood. If you have metal laying around your shop, and this is 1/4 inch metal here, you could just as easily do this. The foam, on the other hand, would cost you for replacements about 20 bucks a side, so you're looking at $40 in foam. And for me, it just seemed like a smarter idea, being that I'm new to this, to buy something sturdy, that's solid, that's going to last. And I have been very, very happy with this performance so far. It's sturdy, it's durable, it does not take up a huge footprint on your workbench. You can see here, this is 12 inches wide by, your forming plate is 12 by 8. This little handle that comes out extends to 13 inches. So it's a very small footprint on your workbench. You can easily, I just have another workbench that I got, a small one, a little 24 by 24, and we mounted it on there, and it's worked great. So I'm going to share a little tip with you guys, and I have not seen this on YouTube anywhere. So whether you're new or a grizzled veteran to Kydex pressing, I want to share this with you because I have had really good results with this, and I have not shared this on any of my videos. One of the key things when you're pressing is to get this foam warm. And I have seen videos where people, they use blow torches, they use hair dryers, they use heat guns, they sit this on top of the toaster oven, which we have done as well. But what I have found in my experience so far, my limited experience, by the way, is go on Amazon, buy yourself a heating pad, something that you use for your back, for your leg, usually 12 by 12. Sometimes you'll get an 18 by 18, but it's a small heating pad. And what we do is we plug that heating pad in, and we lay it on top of here, and then we sandwich it in. And what this does is it warms with a gentle heat. So I start that heating pad right in the beginning, I let it run, and it gets all this warm. So while I'm figuring out my Kydex mold, I'm doing my blocking, all those things, this thing is getting nice and warm. We throw our Kydex in the toaster oven, and we pull it out, we remove this, and this is nice and warm. It's not hot. It helps retain the heat of the Kydex and gives you a little bit more working time, but it also has great definition results at the end because that Kydex is cooling slower and this foam is not sucking the heat out of it. Remember, this is metal, so there's a lot of thermal transfer happening here with this metal. Check out that heating pad, and I think you're going to be really happy with the results. Overall, to wrap this up, this press from knifekits.com, while it may be on the more expensive side, I think it is well worth it for someone who is new to Kydex or getting into it, or maybe they want to replace an old one. Sure, you can build your own. It would be great, but I would guarantee almost that this will outlast anything that you're going to build out of wood or even maybe scrap metal. So I'm going to leave you guys on that. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you subscribe. We've got a bunch of Kydex videos coming up for you. So until next time, make sure that you're practicing safe weapons handling at all times and treating every weapon as if it was loaded. God bless America. G2 out.